15 on the 20. Kuhn will pitch it over to Smith. Smith showing the speed, showing the elusiveness, goes out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Make it the 10.
Okay, so now you got second, and actually probably about 6 yards and you can get a first down. The clock stops in high school football on a first down, so you can't keep the ball on the ground right now. It's only a minute and 5 to go, but Sayville has all 3 of their timeouts. So they're really in good shape with a passing attack like they have, and getting 7 or 8 yards every time they run the ball. They're in perfect shape right now.
You know, something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but I know you do. Downfield blocking. Ambrosio is downfield blocking. O'Connor. I mean, that really springs these runners for that extra yardage as well.
And what I've seen Sayville do is not only are the men down there, but they set their blocks up. The backs set their blocks up, so you just get down there and I'll use you as a screen.
Smith will take the handoff. Blocking was DeLuca. Smith lunging forward and tackled. Pizzuti with the tackle.
First and goal on the 1-yard line right now. Now this is the difference between myself and other people. Let's see if Coach Haas is in this group. Smith is getting this touchdown. Smith just earned this touchdown. There's no way DeLuca is getting this touchdown. I don't care about records. I don't care about any of that stuff. Smith gets this touchdown. He just earned it right there. And
I'll tell you, and I'll be on the flip side, little devil's advocate. I'm playing for that record right there. I want to give DeLuca the touchdown, let Andrew Smith get the scores in the second half.
We'll see who gets the ball.
First and goal on the 1. Full house offense. Handoff is to DeLuca, and DeLuca has now tied the Long Island championship record for scores. He's got 5. 33 seconds left to play in the first half.
There you go, DeLuca has it, and I guess there's Coach congratulating him as he goes off the field. Now, remember, the record is 5 touchdowns, but I don't think anyone had 5.5. He has all 5 in the first half.
Yeah,
they had 5 in the whole game.
We'd have to check with our buddy Joe Giannotti.
Forget Joe Giannotti. Go to Andy Slauson. Andy's a Suffolk guy. He'll know that. Joe's a Bethpage guy. He's a Nassau guy.
The kick is up, and it is good. So it's 36-0 right now. Sayville all over Bethpage.
Look at it right here as DeLuca follows his box. Smith leading the way into the hole. Smith goes right through and tells John Lewis, hey, get out of my way, I'm blocking. Knocks into the back of John Lewis, and DeLuca follows Smith into the hole for the score. 36 points, and 30 of them come on the back of Chris DeLuca.
Chris DeLuca, 5 touchdowns in this first half. When we saw Chris Sayville last year for Cold Spring Harbor, but this is 5 touchdowns in the first half. Where does this rate for you? I mean, you've seen a lot of great performances in Long Island football.
Yeah, no, this is right up there. There's no question about it. But remember, he only has 8 touchdowns in the season.
Right.
He's only scored 8 touchdowns all season. 5 in the first half today. It's like, you know, you get 10 in the game. Unbelievable.
You look at DeLuca right there.
Little handshake from his buddy R.J. Kuhn. Goes over to Billy O'Connor, the tight end. I guess Sayville is saying right now, hey, it's nice to know how, you know, at halftime, it's nice to know we have complete control of this football game. Bethpage, on the other hand, shocked. I mean, the last time Bethpage was shut out in a half and let somebody score 35 points, I don't think it's ever happened, period.
Hit somebody, he's
36-0. 33 seconds to play in this second quarter. Nice booming kick. Will be taken by Glucker. Glucker gets a good block around the edge and fumbles. I believe he picked it up, though.
I think it went out of bounds, and I think it went out of bounds, so it stays Bethpage's ball. That could have been a disaster with 24 seconds to go.
What do you do here?
I take a knee and I get the heck out of the half. 24 seconds.
And try to just wash it away, forget it never happened?
There goes the ball, and he did fall back on it as he was going out of bounds. So, well, you just want to get out of the half. You want to get to the halftime so you can go in the locker room and you can talk it over.
I would imagine that would be a very silent and somber locker room for the Bethpage Golden Eagles.
Well, you start talking about, again, you start talking about getting first downs. You start talking about doing the things that Bethpage know they can do. The blocks, making your blocks, sustaining your blocks, staying with them. Running hard, there's a fumble right there. I mean, this is just not a typical Bethpage football team we're seeing tonight.
Number 55, Mike Cablevision with help 70, Zach Gallo on the stop.
And it does look like Bethpage willing to just run this one out. And look at their team. I don't think they could head to the locker rooms any quicker.
Look, you can see right there. I mean, there's a good sign right off the bat. Kyle Karate telling us guys, keep your heads up. Let's go. Have a little pride. Let's get off this field. So, you know, they got some leadership there. We'll see what happens when Bethpage comes back in the second half.
We will be back with more. It's 36-0. Sayville leads in this Class 3 Long Island Championship. Stay with us. Back at James M. Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. Keith Arizari alongside Tom Howard. And let's go to the third broadcast member of our team, Hal Sass, and he's got Coach Rob Haas.
All right, thanks, Keith. Rob, 36-0. I don't think anybody could have expected this. What did your team do in that first half so well?
I mean, I think what we did best is we controlled the line of scrimmage. We knew coming into this game that if we controlled the line of scrimmage, that we'd have a really good chance to win. And so far, our guys are really winning the battle up front.
Obviously, with a big lead, people might wonder, when did the starters come out? What's your thought on that in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we never like to embarrass any program. I mean, we don't want to embarrass them. The game's not over yet. There's only one half of football. We've come back in 2 games. You know, I graduated a lot of seniors this year, and they deserve to play. And, you know, they're going to play through the third quarter. And if the game is, if it's out of hand, you know, we'll put the other kids in.
All right, good luck in the second half. Send it back upstairs to Keith and Tom.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights in that first half, and it was the Chris DeLuca show, huh?
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, you take a look here. This is really his 4th touchdown. It's just a 1-yard run, but look at the hole. I mean, you can walk through that hole. You heard Rob Haas say they're controlling the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what he did. Take another one. Now we'll go to his 5th touchdown, another 1-yard run. And again, watch the line surge right there. Off the line, follows his block, follows Andrew Smith, who is following big number 79, John Lewis, into the end zone. Lewis scores, Smith scores, and DeLuca has the ball and scores. 10-1 in almost everything. Total yards, 10-1, Sayville over Bethpage. You go to rushing yards, 10-1, Sayville over Bethpage. Go to first downs, 15-1, Sayville over Bethpage. I mean, they are doing everything you can possibly ask a team to do when you come to a championship football game. And it all comes from the line of scrimmage, as Rob Haas said.
And I definitely like what Coach Haas said. You never want to embarrass another team. If this game gets out of hand, you start bringing in some substitutes. But he also made a very poignant point as well in the fact that his seniors deserve to play in this game, deserve to continue to play.
Yeah, they do to a point. And I think what you do right now is obviously you always start the second half with your starting team, those seniors. You find out what happens defensively. They're going to start. Bethpage has the ball. You drive the length of the field and you score again and go up 43, 42, 43, nothing. You start getting your other players in. You start, getting them into the game.
Roll short. It's Kevin Gluckert. Gluckert, lots of room. And maybe that's something Bethpage can build upon. They'll start on their own 30.
Well, not bad field position to start out with, Keith. I mean, they have the ball in the 30, but I want to see what offense Bethpage is coming out with. Takes the ball, follows his blockers up, and remember the last time, all the white jerseys ran right past the gold jerseys and trapped it back around the 18-yard line. Now he's up on the 30. Let's see if they start out with their normal offense or whether they go to that spread formation right off the bat.
It will be their normal offense. Crotty, not a great first half. 2 for 5, 3 yards in the air. Pitches it far side. And Bethpage picks up a few yards. It was Greg Zaleski.
What they did is they went to the broken bone. They put a slot out there. Only one, they had 2 backs in the backfield. They followed the backs around, pitched back to the offside halfback, and had an angle block out there by having the slot, but didn't do too much. That Sayville defense is just a fired-up defense, very physical.
2nd and about 7 on the 33-yard line. Bethpage stays in their traditional offense. Here's an option play. Crotty on the keeper, and he is brought down by Wilson.
Crotty, all-county player, 6'2", 175-pound senior, outstanding athlete. But right now, you can see he runs the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd and probably a long 3 yards right now. So you watch Crotty go around. But good job by Messina, keeping the play, turning it back into the inside, and Crotty gets tackled.
3rd and 3. And what good tackling on the defensive line. Alex Cafaro in on there, Billy O'Connor was over there, and so was Mike Messina.
And you see the Bethpage Golden Eagle ball carriers cannot move forward. They're getting hit, but instead of falling forward, they're falling back every time because Sayville's doing such a great job defensively.
And this is where you are in this game. Down by 36, 10 minutes to play, 4th and 1. You're going for this on your own 39-yard line. Crotty hands off, and his running back Zaleski will not have the first down. Look at that swarm of white jerseys. Billy O'Connor wearing 47 comes up with his arms raised.
And you see Erwin Dill right there. That basically says it all. Mike Potts right next to him. They're Howie's two right-hand men. And you can see, great job right there by Billy O'Connor. He's the middle linebacker. He throws the ball. Farrell comes flying in, the outside linebacker, and the Golden Flashes take over with a short field.
We talked about Chris DeLuca, 13 carries, 114 yards, and those 5 big touchdowns. That ties a Long Island championship record. No other player was able to do that in a single half.
And now he has the ability to build on that in the second half.
And he is your tailback right now. He'll take the handoff, dancing around, and brought down by Kritikos in the backfield.
Number 74,
and that was a really good job by Teddy. Okay, he did a good job of finding off his block,
gain of 1,
making the hit, and just staying with it.
5 touchdowns in the first half for DeLuca. Andrew Smith also looked good on the ground, 11 carries for 68 yards. Kuhn had 1 rush for 17. In the air, Kuhn did his thing, 4 for 9, 86 yards, and Messina 2 catches for 53 yards. 2nd and 9 for the Golden Flashes. Man in motion is Messina coming near side. Handoff is to DeLuca. DeLuca following those blockers, and he's brought down by, looked like Grassi.
Well, you can see right off the bat, they're not getting the big chunks of yards they got in the first half. I don't know whether that's Sayville just not into the game as much right now, but it's 3rd and 5. They were getting 5 and 6 yards every time. They got 1 or 2 yards on the first down play, 3 yards on this play. It's 3rd and 5.
Broadcasting tonight, the internet radio station of Sayville High School, WSAY.
3rd and 6. Ball is set on the 34-yard line. Ambrosio set out wide left. Kuhn, play action, looking for Ambrosio, trying to go up top, has him, and goes through the arms of Ambrosio.
The ball was on the money. He delivered that ball with a defender right on top of Ambrosio, right through Ambrosio's arms. What a great job. Watch R.J. Kuhn right here. Sets up, good job, blocked by Mayo there. Sets up, delivers the ball, and watch this, right through the arms. And great defensive play. You saw Kyle Crotty back there playing very good defensive coverage. I'll tell you something, somebody's going to get a great find when they pick up R.J. Kuhn.
And this is tough, too, because you're in a situation where punting it is probably not going to make any difference. You're up 36-0. You don't want to embarrass the other team, but 4th and 6, you're in that 2-down territory on the 34. Kuhn, just a little bit underthrown to Messina. Crotty made a good play as well.
And you figure Bethpage turned over the ball to you on 4 downs. You might as well do the exact same thing. No loss here. Erwin Dill grabs Kyle Crotty. Says, okay, here's what we do, son.
Crotty grabs a towel, dries off his arms.
I think he has a little blood from a scrape that he had before. I saw that before, and he's probably taking care of that.
You heard Hal Sass earlier in the game talk about Crotty, who missed last season, broke his left arm in the first scrimmage of the year. He's been training all through the offseason, played lacrosse, an all-county lacrosse player, dreaming about an opportunity to play in a Long Island championship game. Got to this point, and unfortunately things are not going his way.
But, you know, I think something has to be said as far as Bethpage. The Golden Eagles really have been overachievers the whole year this year. They had one loss coming into this by Floral Park early in the year, as you stated earlier, and have really come on and done more. They were not expected to have a great team. They're here in the Long Island Championship for the 8th time since the Long Island Championship started back in 1992. 15 years, 8 times. That's more than once every other year. That's a testament to Howie Votes, Irwin Dill, Mike Posh, and the rest of the staff at Bethpage. Roddy McCoy. Got to remember that, son.
Fumble.
White ball, I believe.
Bethpage says they have it. Sayville says they have it, and the officials agree with Sayville.
Sayville ball. Short field, 18 yards, 20 yards to go this time. Take a look right here. Handoff. Just didn't take the ball with him. Right there, and Greg Zalewski has to hang on. Well, it was a little bit of both. He's putting it in there, but not all the way. Ball goes on the carpet, and Sayville comes up with it. Inside the 20.
Back to their full house offense. Smith and DeLuca along with Nick Mio as your lead blocker. It's Smith. Smith gets to the outside. Lots of flags go down. Smith is pushed out of bounds by Crotty. We saw 2 flags thrown in the area of holding.
We're going to back him up, I heard, so.
We're getting some great sounds from down in the field.
Conversation would seem to indicate a
great job on the audio boards by Donnie Bearhoff, Donnie B. Give a little love to Matt Riga down there holding our parabolic microphones as well. Got to shout out our crew. Without them, we don't get on air.
What a great crew we have, too.
And there's Matty.
A little smile.
All right. Your TV debut, Matt Riga. It'll be 1st and 18 for the Sayville Golden Flashers on the 28-yard line. That overload to the right side again. Smith is hit in the backfield.
Well, obviously, whatever Irwin Dill, Mike Posh, and the rest of the group said in the locker room at halftime, Howie Votes' Chargers have come out and responded defensively, at least. The line is not controlling the line of scrimmage for Sayville as it did in the first half. They're having a little more difficulty, and a little penalty there throws them back. It's going to be 2nd down and about 20.
If you're the Bethpage coaching staff, I'm sure you just wished you could have stopped that first half a little bit earlier before this one got out of hand. 3 wide receiver set, 2 running backs for Sayville. Messina comes in motion. Kuhn looking near side, and it hits O'Connor and drops.
Perfect timing. Good defensive play right there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 20. Watch Kuhn right here. Takes the snap. Just drops back, gets himself set. It's just a quick release. He was in the shotgun. If he was in a regular formation, it would have been a 3-step drop. It's just a drop back and fire. And very good defensive play right now.
So 3rd and long for Sayville. Messina once again in motion. Kuhn tucking and running. Again, pretty much the same play we looked at in the first half. He had a 17-yard scamper. This will be very close to the same.
Yeah, it brings up about a 4th and 3 right now, which is a much easier play for Sayville to you have a back like DeLuca, a back like Smith, and you're going to be able to convert right now. But he did a real good job of just putting the ball away. He had to get 20 yards for a 1st down, but he knew he wasn't going to get 20, but at least I can get down there and make it reasonable. And there he goes out of bounds. It's going to be about a 4th and 4. Short 4, long 3.
You're not even considering kicking this field goal?
Nah, not right now. I'm back to getting Messina in the end zone, I think. You got me on board.
Well, the handoff is to DeLuca, and DeLuca will rumble forward and be short of a first down. So a little bit of life for the Bethpage defense, and want to remind you to watch the Long Island Championships anytime you want, starting in mid-December on Cablevision's Video on Demand.
1-yard gain, Bethpage ball, the defense holds on down.
Two drives so far, 2 holds.
Video on Demand is channel 500, and all you need to do is just follow the prompts on your screen, and you can get on to Video on Demand. What that means is people can listen to us whenever they want.
When you come to my house, Keith, they put it on mute. They say, don't listen to that guy's thing. Actually, when you're on, Keith, they do. They take it off mute, but when I'm on, it's definitely mute.
The Howard family enjoys Keith Irizarry.
And not Tom Howard, exactly.
They get enough of you at home, I guess.
You got it.
Bethpage starting on their own 12-yard line. Gain of maybe 1. Should be 2nd and 9. Loria on the carry. I think if you're Crotty right now, you sit there and you say, if this was scoreless, can we win the second half? I think that's almost like a moral victory if you're Bethpage.
Oh, sure. Again, you're playing. Oh, man. Boy, they are getting off the ball. Defensively, Sayville is getting off the ball.
How much have we said the names of Cafaro and Fracovieri today? DeLuca was in on the play as well.
I'll tell you, Zach Gallo is doing such a great job. He's a zone candidate. He's the nose, and he gets in there, number 73, and just bottles things up from the start. And because of that, you see Pat Frack on one side, Ricky Hartman on the other side, able to control. You see right there, Pat Frack getting off. And the linebacker, Billy O'Connor, is having a field day because Zach Gallo is making things happen. See him right there, 6 foot, 245-pound senior, is the Zellner Award candidate, the best lineman in Suffolk County.
3rd and 9. Crotty on the keeper. Crotty will have a first down. Crotty dancing around and brought down at the 35.
Busted play is the biggest play of the game. No mesh point. What you're trying to do is have a mesh point with your fullback to hold the linebacker. There's no mesh point there, but he's able to take him to go off tackle. Watch right now. He sticks it out like, where are you coming? Didn't even come. Continued down the line of scrimmage. Got to the outside. Breaks a tackle. Actually didn't break it completely, but they're just bringing him down and blocking. I guess it was designed not even to have a mesh point because the fullback went right to the defensive tackle.
Bethpage picks up their 2nd first down of the game. Here's Bondamonte picking up 2 yards.
Dropped by number 9, Chris
Bondamonte came into today, 72 carries, 435 yards, 4 scores, an all-conference player.
And I'll tell you something. John DeLuca and Reed Sands, defensive people for Sayville, have come up with just a great defensive plan right here. They're doing such a fantastic job of keeping things bottled up and turned back to the inside. Anytime Bethpage tries to get out, it's almost impossible to get to the outside. They're being thrown back into the linebackers who are having a field day.
Pass back.
The pass, this is.
And this will be completed at the 40. It's Sporing. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line.
Didn't have to wait for that. It might have been a touchdown. But,
and I stand corrected, it was Romanelli.
That was pass. All he did was you pass back. It was a lateral. And the halfback is able to pass. You see right there.
It's John Pizzuti on the pass.
Pizzuti passing the ball. And you have Gino Romanelli taking the ball and carrying it down to the 13-yard line.
So finally, Bethpage gets into the red zone. Sayville is 4 for 4 in the red zone in the first half. Bethpage never got there. Crotty on the keeper, good blocking. Crotty waiting out the blocks and jumps over a would-be tackler, Ambrosio, finally brought down by Smith and Hartman.
And that's the Kyle Crotty we've seen before. He's starting to finally do things the way they're supposed to. And it's funny, it's always a kiss of death. When I heard Hal say to Rob Haas right after the half, what do you do when the thing gets out of hand? Well, when you start talking about games getting out of hand, that's when they don't get out of hand. You need to keep the team focused. You need to just go out and play football.
There is a player down on the field. It's a Sayville player. They're attending to his leg. There's a look at the senior Kyle Crotty, 6'2", 175 pounds.
That's
looks like Billy O'Connor out there.
Billy O'Connor, the tight end.
And he is one of the key players to this team, not just because he had 30 catches coming into today, but he is a solid blocker.
And his middle linebacker position, he's probably, as I said before, you have two guys there, 73 Zach Gallo at nose and Billy O'Connor at middle linebacker. They control the whole interior. And that would be, I mean, a terrible loss. Especially when the game is well in hand here, Keith. You don't want to see anybody get injured ever in a football game, but you have the game well in hand. You don't want one of your top players knocked out. Billy's only a junior, 5'9", 210 pounds, but he led the team from his freshman year on in tackles. Take a look right here. You can watch him go down. And right there, he puts his leg up and gets fallen on. Actually, he lifted his leg, not on purpose, not to trip anybody, but it was an awkward fall. His leg went up, it got hit, and then his own player landed on him after that.
And you like the fact that you see Erwin Dill out there as well for an injured player. Opposing coach tending to an opposing player. Probably see number 35, Kessler, step in that linebacker position. Well, with the score of 36-0, Sayville leads with 3:12 left in this third quarter. We'll step aside. Stay with us right here and only here on Cablevision Sports. You're watching Long Island Championship football on Cablevision Sports. And we are back, 36-0 Sayville in this third quarter. Bethpage driving, though. Crotty trying to get around the edge and will. So Bethpage refuses to go down easily and will not be shut out.
And there you go. I mean, 6-0. We go half by half. You know, we're not. Initially, you don't try to get back in and win the game. You try just to get back into the game. Then as you get closer, things start going your way. We talk about winning the game. Right now, it's 6-0 us in the half if we're a Bethpage fan.
Was I in your shot at all?
No.
So there you go. Crotty gets the touchdown. And before the break, the injured player was Billy O'Connor, number 47, 5'9", 210-pound junior. And what a dynamic center he is. And here's that spread extra point. Crotty fakes the handoff. Crotty will throw towards the end zone. It's picked off by Andrew Smith.
Take a look one more time. We're going to see the score here. You're going to watch Kyle Crotty come down the line of scrimmage and actually just outraces him to the end zone. He's going as fast as he can down the line, takes Mike Messina, to the corner. Good block right there. A little hold, I'd say, also on Chris DeLuca, but gets around the corner.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Sporing on the block, or hold, as you may say, on Chris DeLuca. With the trickiness that Bethpage has, do they come out and onside kick this?
I don't think this early in the half you come out and onside kick. You've already given Sayville 2 good field positions so far. They haven't taken advantage of it. Trying to trap them deep and play regular football, see what happens.
And go home with a pocket for the profit if you've got 1-6.
Follow up on Billy O'Connor. He went to the sideline. They were stretching his leg out. And you said you saw as they were stretching him, he looked like he was in some.
Yeah, he threw his hands back a couple of times to his head, feeling something. So we'll get a report from Hal, I'm sure.
Yeah, Hal was over there, right by Billy. I love having that third broadcast member.
Absolutely.
All the little things down in the field that we can't see or we might miss, and there you go. And look at Sayville. They have come up as if they're expecting an onside kick.
Now, one of the things that Bethpage does is they do stay in the huddle until the whistle is blown. Then they break or they don't break if they're going to try an onside kick.
And set back deep is Andrew Smith as normal, but Charlie Podgorski, a sophomore.
Now they'll drop back because they see that
Podgorski wears 33, Tommy, and first time we're seeing him, so the sophomore will get a chance to play. And the sophomore will take this one and it will roll out of bounds. No! I believe Bethpage got it.
No, they got it out of bounds. It was a great call. Patty Wren, the official, is referee's right there on the spot, and he makes the call.
Joe Labasco almost got a chance to put his name in the books for Bethpage.
It bounced right up in his hands, but he was at least a foot to 2 feet out of bounds. Rob Haas is saying, hey, let's start playing football now, guys. We showed we could do the first half. We're not doing it at all in the second half.
So I do not see Billy O'Connor out on the field. Brian Wilson is your tight end. 2 wide receivers set, Ambrosio and Messina. Here's DeLuca. And DeLuca tripped up for about 2.5 yards.
And again, notice the difference between the first half and second half as far as the line of scrimmage. Sayville is not dominating the line of scrimmage. They're hitting, but they're not driving right now. And Bethpage is actually holding them to 2.5, maybe 3 yards a carry.
Let's go down to Hal Sass and see what he has going on the sidelines.
Well, Chris DeLuca with that carry, and what you might notice is every player on Sayville has their name on the back of their jersey, except DeLuca wearing number 9. Well, each year, Rob Haas and Sayville honor the memory of Mitch Cangelosi, a middle linebacker who was the MVP of the 1998 championship team. Cangelosi was killed in a car accident, and Sayville awards the number 9 jersey to the player who best personifies team play. Sayville's number 9 jersey will always be worn, but no player's name will ever be sewn onto the back of the jersey, all to honor one of their fallen teammates, Mitch Cangelosi. Kind of a nice story. Back upstairs.
That is a good way to honor a player.
That certainly is. And I mean, the Cangelosi family obviously knows, and the Sayville tradition is such a great, rich tradition over the years that it's, you know, it's something I think is very, very powerful for them. Terry Manning has something very similar. North Atwood, number 14, going to their best back, and I know his brother Pat. And Sayville, with their tradition, has the same thing with number 9.
Timeout, Sayville. We just were not set at the line.
It was a big third down. I think right now Rob Haas realizes, you see Mike Gercio right there on the right-hand side with Joe Buderman. You know, Rob realizes that, hey, it's 3rd and 2. If we don't make it, we're punting again and giving Bethpage a chance to get back in this thing. This is an all-important first down. I'm not looking at the score, but I'm not thinking about 36-6. This is important because we have to get our feet under us and start doing the right thing. You can see just by the way Rob's talking to him in the huddle. You know, he knows right now, he's saying, hey, guys, this is a critical play for us.
And no matter what, even if they have to punt here, they're still up by 30, but the M word comes out, momentum.
Exactly. You got it. You see Mike Posh, on the other hand, doing the exact same thing, you know, in the Bethpage huddle. He's telling the guys, this is key, guys. You got to come up. You got to make the stick. You got to lock. You got to wrap. You got to knock the guy to the ground. We can't let them get this 3rd down, 2-yard gain.
You know, can Bethpage come back and win this game? More than likely not. But like we said, for a lot of the seniors on Bethpage, just the last time they may get to, you know, lace it up, throw those pads on. You want to go out at least a little bit on a high.
Well, it's pride. It has to do with pride. I think the pride was hurt in the first half, and obviously they got, there's Howie Votes, got a good tongue in the lashing in the locker room. They're coming out and showing what they possibly can do.
Handoff is to DeLuca. DeLuca will have the first down and more. Goes down at the 40, gain of 7.
And this is what Sayville was doing in the beginning of the game, where they were getting the yardage by running 6 or 7 yards of the shot. They need to start reestablishing that right now. Bethpage needs to start stacking the line of scrimmage on certain plays where they believe it's going to be a run, stopping it and making Sayville go into a passing situation, putting pressure on their quarterback.
We've seen some great running efforts during these playoffs from a lot of different backs. And Chris DeLuca, look at the stiff arm, and DeLuca will go for more.
And Bethpage knew what was coming right there. It was a quick count. You can see Bethpage getting ready, shifting down on the unbalance. They knew what was coming, but just weren't able to do it. DeLuca having an exceptional night for a running back. See the shifting down, but there they go. Sayville just is off to the races. Good job by Mio kicking out. Bad job by Bethpage tackling. As I said before, blocking and tackling are the keys to championship games, and Bethpage just is not tackling well this evening.
That stiff arm sprung the running back, Chris DeLuca, for a solid 15 more yards. Bondamonte was right in on that play. DeLuca will take the pitch. Look at the blocking by Mio. Kuhn is down there as well. DeLuca will go for another big gain of about 20.
Nice job of setting up his block. So you see right there, good job by the Bethpage defensive end coming in to turn in, but no linebacker there to fill. He cuts in off of that and breaks back to the outside. Nice strength. DeLuca, I tell you, he's a power runner, but he does a nice job of getting to the outside too.
From a lot of these lacrosse players, and that's what DeLuca is most known for in Long Island. Look at the footwork. DeLuca, just quick feet, little jab step on Crotty, got himself an extra 4 yards.
And you saw how he set up Nick Mayo's block, number 42. Mayo didn't even have to put his head in there.
Here's Andrew Smith bouncing off a tackler and lunging forward to about the 16-yard line, so a gain of 3.
And that should be the last play of the third quarter. We should get down to the last 15 seconds or so, and I would think the clock would run out now. And again, that's a Bethpage 6. Sayville nothing if you're looking by quarters right now. Obviously, quarters don't count in a real football game, but Bethpage has something to build on.
Bethpage trying to claw back into this game. They trail 36-6. Come back with us right here on Cablevision Sports. You're watching Long Island Championship football on Cablevision Sports. It's fourth quarter time for the Class 3 Long Island Championship. Sayville just 12 minutes away from wrapping up their third Long Island title, their second in just 3 years. Counter handoff, Nick Mio. Mio will go down at the 4.
Well, we're getting into DeLuca territory right now. Ball's on the 4-yard line. It's going to be first and goal from the 4. Let's see if they're moving it back to the 5. They said the 4 is a little too easy for DeLuca to score from. Let's move it back to the 5 and see if he can score from there.
We'll talk about the story of Chris DeLuca. In the first half, managed 5 touchdowns, a 19-yard score, 3 yards, 22, 1 and 1. That ties the all-time record for a Long Island Championship game, breaks the record for a single half. And we'll see. Actually, he is not out on the field right now, so this is Andrew Smith time now. Smith had a great first half as well with almost 70 yards on the ground. Handoff is Mio, and Mio's got the score. The sophomore picks up his first playoff touchdown.
Nice job bringing it in there, too. There's a happy fan. Follows his blocks. Nice job right there as you watch number 10, Brian Wilson, drive his man deep into the end zone. Excellent job of following the block by Nick Mio. Sayville goes up 42-0.
Number 21, Mike Messina.
The kick was no good. It remains 42-6, and 48 points sounds like a lot of points, but well below the all-time record for points in a Long Island Championship. Get to that in just 1 second. Watch Mio once again.
And again, nice job of just following his blocks into the end zone. Sayville doing a nice job once inside the red zone, opening up the holes and finding their way through the Bethpage defense.
Mio just a little battering ram. You know, when you're 5'6" and he runs low also, tough to tackle someone like that.
It certainly is. Good job of blocking, though. He's a great blocker, too. See Erwin Dill right there, a little concerned on what's happening to his Golden Eagles this afternoon.
Well, points scored in a game, the most in a single game by one team was 55, and that was Sayville versus Wantagh. That was in 2004. The most combined points was also in that game. That was 69.
Yeah, just always follow the ball.
So Sayville trying to get their name into the record book once again.
Not the 10! Guys, the 10! Come on, guys! Move up a little, move!
You can hear right there the coaches from the Bethpage side saying, hey, being on the 10-yard line, he's not kicking it over your head. You know how the wind is blowing here in Schuett Stadium, and it's coming out of the north, so the way Sayville's kicking, they're kicking to the north right now from the south.
All the records that could be broken in this game, 484 total yards in a Long Island Championship game by one team. That was Freeport and Floyd. Going into the third quarter, Sayville had 302 yards, so you know they're getting a little bit closer to that one maybe a little bit out of reach. Kickoff is high and booming. Bounces and is taken by Gluckert. And look at the white jerseys just converge on him at the 23-yard line.
Well, Bethpage gets a chance right now again to, you can see Sayville starting, a couple of players coming in who are not necessarily starters, so they're starting to break people up. And I see our starting middle linebackers back in there. Billy O'Connor back in the game right now. So whatever happened to his leg, maybe a hyperextension or nothing very serious. He's back in the game.
Smith still out there. Both of the Francoviaries. 1st and 10 for Bethpage. 11 minutes and 12 seconds to play in this 4th quarter. Fake the handoff, and this one will be picked off by Ambrosio. Just an errant pass by Kyle Crotty.
Now remember, Bethpage is not a passing team. They do their damage on the ground, and obviously today, not able to run the ball well, so they're back to the air. Let's see what happens now offensively for Sayville. Are they going to put their first team in, or are they going to start their second team?
I still see Messina out there.
Yep.
The offensive line looks the same. Kuhn is still out there. Lewis, Wilson. Wait for them to break huddle and see who their running backs are. Nick Mio is still your fullback.
Yeah, no, they have their first team. They're back there.
And DeLuca is your tailback. 1st and 10 on the 48. DeLuca will take the handoff. DeLuca follows Nick Mio. Did you see Nick Mio just lead the way?
Yep. Like we said before, he's a little fire plug. He gets in there and gets things going, blows some people up, and can create the holes that DeLuca and Andrew Smith can both follow. And take a look right now as he comes through. He's looking for somebody. Hey, who am I going to hit? There you go. You're on my way.
Second and 6. Bethpage jumped, but they got back. DeLuca is met, lunges forward for an extra yard. Should be a 3rd and about 4, maybe 5.
Gain of 135.
The clock is the biggest ally of Sayville as they lead 42-6. You look at a game like this that got out of hand. It got out of hand pretty quickly in that 2nd quarter. Now you're in the situation where you just want to make sure all the kids make it out of this game unscathed. You don't want any injuries.
You also want to try to get some of your players who've been working so hard for you all year, don't get in that many games, get them in there a little bit. You can see right now, Mayo, one more time, picking up his first down. And Mayo's not used to running the ball, so nobody's really watching him that much. But boy, I'll tell you something, he's having a great game tonight, and for a sophomore to have your best game of the year in the Long Island Championship game, that's saying something.
Tom, we just got handed stat sheet, and the biggest individual number obviously comes from Chris DeLuca. To go along with those 5 touchdowns, 179 rushing yards on 22 carries. That's an 8.1 yard per carry average.
Yeah, he has a possibility this evening of breaking 200 yards rushing. He also has a possibility of being the new leader with 6 touchdowns, depending on what happens here in the 4th quarter. But my guess is he doesn't have too many more opportunities to do that, because at some point, and probably after this drive, you're going to see the second team get in here. So
here is DeLuca, and DeLuca is taken down by Jimmy Sporing. You look at the team total, Sayville 317 yards on the ground, Bethpage just 54. Total yards, Sayville went over 400 yards at 403, Bethpage only 112 yards.
What jumped out, though, is the first downs in the 3rd quarter. It was 4-4, the first down. So Sayville got 4 first downs, and so did Bethpage. So they're playing Bethpage playing a much better quarter than they had the previous 2.
Handoff is to Mio, and again, Mio slicing and dicing through the defense of Bethpage. Another first down.
It seems to me that they're keying on DeLuca, they're keying on Smith. They're watching where these guys go, and everybody's letting little Nick Mio wide open. And being 5'6", he just follows his big guys up front. No one knows where he is. Take a look right here. Good pull right there by Frack, and he opens the hole for him, and he goes through and picks up the yardage. You saw coming in late, number 21, Derek Blondelamonte, but a little bit too late.
Nick Mio now 8 carries for 65 yards. Got his first playoff touchdown on the last drive. 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line for Sayville. DeLuca takes the handoff, and again, I think you hit the nail on the top of the head. They're keying in on DeLuca. I just think they do not want to let DeLuca have a chance at breaking any records.
Yeah, they're flowing after him. He goes left, and Mio goes left. He goes right, and Mio goes left. He goes left, and Mio goes right, and nobody watches Mio, and he's off for a gain.
And on the stop,
defensive line of Bethpage, which has done such a better job in this second half.
Well, Ferguson, Ploth, Criticus, and Warga all are doing a better job getting off the ball.
So Anthony Tarantino in there as well. I haven't seen him a lot during this game, so one of the backups getting some playing time. Man in motion is Ambrosio. The pitch is to DeLuca. DeLuca waiting out his blocks and goes forward to the 15-yard line.
Caught by number 40, Anthony Tarantino, with 262, Charles
And pick up maybe 2 yards on that play. They, 2 runs by DeLuca, picked up maybe 3 total yards over the last 2 plays. In the first half, he was picking up 6 and 8 at a shot. So it looks like they're either going to be passing on this play or back to Mio. DeLuca go one way, Mio the opposite with the ball.
Wonder why we haven't seen much of Andrew Smith on this drive.
Well, I think last drive they gave it to Smith and DeLuca was out. This drive's DeLuca's in and Smith is out.
Third and 6. Kuhn gives it off to Mio. The solid leg drive will get him about 1.5 yards short of a first down, and that should have been a no gain.
Well, this one right now is going to be a key play because key when you're up 42-6, you're going to give the ball, I believe, to DeLuca. You're going to say, listen, you need 1.5 yards, 2 yards to get this first down. Let's see if you can get it. Lion, can you block for him? What can we do here?
Give some credit to the defensive line for Bethpage. Like I said, they got ripped up in the first half, and they've settled down, knuckled up, and made some big stops in this second half. 4th and about 2. I formation again. It's Mio and DeLuca. Bethpage stacking the line. DeLuca drives forward.
Does not make it.
And based on the spot, it'll be close.
About a yard shy.
Scored by 17, Kevin Glickers.
Ball set down on the 9-yard line.
They're going to come out and change possession.
And the Bethpage D has held on down. We'll take over 1st and 10.
Good call, Coach Tommy Howard.
10-yard line.
And you did everything you wanted. You gave it to DeLuca. You asked the line to block for him. They can't get it. Bethpage does a good job. They hold. And with 5 minutes to go in the game, Bethpage has an opportunity to basically run out the clock if they can keep the ball, possess the ball, control the ball. Again, we're not looking for a victory. There are times I truly believe this in high school football, when you have to decide, we're not winning the game, but we're going to do the best we can do to show them what Bethpage is all about, or whatever your team is. You don't go for the win. It isn't all about winning sometimes.
Delayed handoff goes to Zaleski. And Sayville keeps their same defense out there for the most part.
Yeah, I guess that's
now O'Connor finally goes out. Kessler comes in for him.
See, this is where I truly believe you need to get some of the other players who have been there all year. They also need to feel part of the championship. You have sophomores and juniors on this team who haven't been playing, but they're going to be playing next year when the seniors graduate. Give them a chance to see what championship football feels like. Get them out on the field.
Number 24, Kyle Ferrier, a senior, 5'8", 155 pounds, comes in for Mike Messina. So that's also good. Just like you want to get some of the young players an opportunity opportunity to play as that ball is broken up in the secondary by Kessler. You want to get those seniors in the game too. Let them feel what it's like to be out here on the turf for the Long Island Championship game.
Absolutely. It was funny when I used to coach. Lenny Matera, who was my assistant coach at Bayshore, would always get players in the game. Unbeknownst to me, I'd be screaming. A block was missed, and I'd be screaming at my starting, tackle, Kelleher. I'd be screaming, and he'd come up to me and say, "Coach, what do you want?" I said, "Mike, what are you doing here?" He was standing right next to me. I thought he was out there. I was yelling at him. Yeah, it was some sophomore was playing. Lenny felt you get those kids in the game and see what it's like. And sure enough, year after year, we'd be good because those kids got a chance to play.
Billy Mindful, a 5'9", 206-pound senior wearing number 74, comes in for Pat Fraccovieri. And Tom, I do find it funny that it is amazing how much a coaching staff really does help their head coach. I mean, the coaching staff has a lot of say as to what goes on.
Absolutely, and you have to give them a chance. You can't, if the head coach is doing everything, he's not giving his assistant coaches a chance to do something. You're not going to have your assistant coaches around too long. And that's, as you can see here, these are the great assistants at both Sayville and at Bethpage. You have, John DeLuca, and now Reed Sands coming up. You have Mike Gersio, Joe Budeman, who's been around forever at Sayville, just, lending that the historical perspective.
There's a punt to roll out at the 33-yard line, make it the 34. It's only about a 24-yard punt.
And on Bethpage's side of the ball, I mean, Howie Votes has been there forever, but Irwin Dill and Mike Ponch, and now Roddy McCoy, who's a great quarterback from the back of the 90s, they're the guys who are sort of taking over. They're coaching the team for Howie, and, the kids know who the head coach is, but they also know where everything comes from.
Our statisticians, the man who gets it right, Jack, right?
Number 5, Jonathan Bonacore now in the backfield for Sayville. A 5'8", 150-pound sophomore.
26 carries, 134 yards, and 1 TD so far in the season. So John is, he's a player. He gets in there, and he's the future. He's a sophomore.
And number 24, which is Kyle Ferrier, lines up at fullback. And here's Ferrier. Ferrier breaking through, adding a little bit of mustard to the hot dog. Kyle Ferrier gets a touchdown.
They're going to have a late hit after this, which will be assessed on the kickoff. But just a little frustration right there on a Bethpage player's part. You see right there, just a handoff going the opposite way. That's what Mio's been doing for the last half. Ferry does right there, and there's the push. Too little, too late. Sayville should take a time. Oh, he just spotted. He got plenty of time. You got plenty of time. Take your time.
Flag. They're counting players, so we'll see which team may have too many.
I have 11 for Sayville. I haven't gotten to Bethpage yet.
I have 11 for Bethpage.
Well, they shouldn't throw the flag. They're going to pick it up and shake it off. You don't throw your flag until you count first.
Apologizes. Sorry, guys. Have the game continue along.
We're just giving Sayville time to get their guys completely set. They were coming on a little late.
Snap down. Kick is up. It looks wide left. It is no good.
They're the 2 mistakes Sayville made. Rob Haas is really going to give it to those guys after this game for those 2 missed extra points in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
What a moment for Kyle Ferrier.
Take a look at following the blocks right there. Good job by Mike Fraccovieri coming around the corner to try to open up a hole, and there's the push, and that penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
It's good yards per carry average, huh? 1 for 34.
Not too bad.
Anytime I can get you to chuckle, I'm happy.
I'm looking at the score right now. Sayville's been here twice before, and both times they hit 50 points. If they would have kicked both their extra points today, they'd be at 50 right now.
It's true.
They missed 2 extra points, and that's the difference between them hitting 50 and not hitting 50.
The Bethpage side, that's where all the fans were to your left. It seems like
filtering out right now.
They have started to leave. There's a lot more fans here than that shot just showed you. Look at those Sayville players, obviously very happy. Jim McGuckin wearing number 51 out there, just trying to give everyone some love. Number 33, Charlie Podgorski. There's Messina, number 21, a senior. Number 20, Travis Tordick, 5'9", 156-pounder, just a junior. Number 83, Billy McGarvey, also a junior. We'll We'll get to some of the Bethpage players as well.
Greg Zaleski deep down the middle for Bethpage.
Talk about them once they receive this ball. Good kick from Messina. Taken at the 12-yard line by Zaleski. And Zaleski will be finally brought down after a solid gain. Goes up to the 37.
35 to the 37-yard line. Number 20, Travis Tordick, the tackle.
Joe Lauria stays out there, number 22 for Bethpage. And he's a junior. He'll be him along with Derek Bondamenti will be the starting tailbacks next season.
Now we have a couple of the, see Craig Kiesler out there right now for Sayville. Sayville starting to sub in right here.
Bethpage not making a lot of changes on their offense right now. Pretty much the same lineup. It's Bondamonte with the carry.
Kiesler in on that tackle.
And a late flag, which leads you to believe it might be a late hit or a personal foul of some sort.
And on the stop is 76, Ricky Hartman.
Dead ball personal foul against Bethpage. And they're starting to do something right there. You don't want to have that stop him. Patty Wren coming over telling the coaching staff, he says, hey guys, Irwin, tell you guys to make sure. And I think what he's doing is he didn't throw the kid out, but he's taking the kid out who caused the penalty just to make sure he calms down, tell him to relax.
Checking in is Tim Lyons, the sophomore, with 3:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to Hal Sass. Hal?
All right, guys, with 3:10 remaining, you got to take a look at how he votes in his 53rd year and wonder, when is this guy going to give it up? I mean, this is a tough way to go, but could this be the last game that Howie coaches? Mentioned 340-plus wins, 48-6 score, not the way he would want to go out, but you got to wonder how many more years the guy that started the program is going to stay here. And when I asked him, I said, give me your best moment ever as a coach at Bethpage. And he said, basically, it was just getting the whole thing started over 50 years ago. He said, you know, we had nothing. We had no freshman team. We had absolutely nothing. We started it from scratch. And he's so proud of the way that the program had developed over the years and won the championships. And basically, he said it was one word. He said, tradition. Howie votes, one of a kind. Back upstairs.
You hear Howie right there, you got to go for the ball, and that's exactly it. The defender quartered his highest point. The receiver can't sit and wait. When that ball's in the air, it's anybody's football. Now watch right here. McCoy throws the ball. I'm sorry, McCoy. McCoy's the quarterback 10 years ago. Kyle Cloudy throws the ball up, and the defender goes to the highest point. You can see Gino Romanelli waited for the ball to come down. He has to attack it at its highest point.
That was Ambrosio, Brian Ambrosio, with his second interception of the evening.
And he had 2 coming in, so he has 4 altogether this year. No better time than to get 2 in the Long Island Championship game.
So with 2:41 to play, obviously Bethpage not going to call any timeout. Sayville looking to just grind it out. You got a new quarterback in there for the Sayville Golden Flashes. Dylan Booz, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, and he's more than likely the successor to R.J. Kuhn.
And this is where you sort of milk the clock. Right now with under 2:30 left, Patty Wren isn't going to spot this ball for play until 10 or 12 seconds drop off. You'll see, and you have 25 seconds after he spots the ball for play, which he does right now. So right now, you don't have to snap this ball to 1:56
Number
on the clock.
16, Tyler Flidner, a junior, gets into the game.
Now the kids who are in the game want to move it along. They don't want it. But if I'm the coach, I'm saying, hey, wait, you still got another 5 or 6 seconds before you need to snap the ball.
The handoff is to Bonacore. Number 8 out there for Sayville as well, a junior, Dan Sergeson.
Number 74, Michael Lane, and 79, Kyle Kushheim.
Greg Wargo, wearing number 61 for Bethpage, comes out of the game. A senior, possibly for the last time.
2 yards, 48.
Third and 8, 1:26 to play.
Well, Suffolk County has to be very happy with the 2 wins they had today, Keith. Both very, very big victories. Fumble the football, and Bethpage will take over, it looks like.
It was Charlie Pogarski, the sophomore, took the handoff, got popped, and fumbled.
And they have Sayville coming back with it. See right there, he breaks through, but forgets the ball right there.
And he got his own ball.
He got his fumble. You got it. You got it back. Now, they don't need to snap the ball until 25 seconds left to go. It's 4th down, so if they don't make the first down, the clock will stop and Bethpage will have one last play. But if they can make the first down, the game is basically over. They don't need to snap it again. They do have to snap it with 25 seconds to go, though. I guess they're going to wait, take the penalty.
Either take the penalty, either take the penalty and punt, or you call your timeout. There you go. There's your penalty. It'll be 4th and 9 now.
Now, what happens in high school football is the clock